Guys, welcome to Munich and welcome to the brand new BMW X3 G45. Just a few weeks ago, I was in Miramar, France to drive this car in a prototype form, but now it's time to see the full design of the BMW X3 and more particularly the BMW X3 M50. So here it is. As you can see, absolutely brand new design, completely different than the outgoing G01, and that starts at the front. How about this skinny grille? Horizontal bars, closed up at the top, got air openings right there. Of course, you might be wondering what's underneath that. That's the radar, so they decided to move the LiDAR from here to that side. Of course, you can see also the separated iconic glow, the optional feature on the car. So instead of a single piece iconic glow, now you have two of them. That separates the kidneys. So of course, the lower part of the car, it's an M Sport package, so it's quite aggressive. And you can see all these lines running across. Of course, it gives the car a very nice and bold stance on the road. Let's take a look at the headlights. Brand new design, completely different than before. You have these two LED lights right there. There's some additional lights in there for the nighttime driving. So that's also new on the car. You might notice also the very upright stance of the car. So you can see the nose is sitting quite straight right here, and then you have less creases on the hood than you've seen on recent BMW products. So instead of having those really long creases running across, you have this really small one right there, short one, and then you have these two on the sides as well. So it gives the car a cleaner look. BMW calls this a monolithic design. Now, if we move to the side, you can see also the car has grown in size quite a bit. It's about 3.5 centimeters longer and over 2 centimeters wider, but it does sit also about 2.5 centimeters lower to the ground. So of course that helps with the stance on the road, and it gives the car a sporty look from the side as well. Clean shapes overall. You got a crease line running across connecting to the shoulder right there. And then of course you have no more spats, so a cleaner design because of that on the side as well. Large wheels, 19 to 21. You can go up to 22 inches if you go for the aftermarket sales. Brand new design on these wheels as well. I call them the Transformer wheels. They look quite different. It feels like they're just gonna pop out. And then of course you have the M Sport brakes. You can get them in red and blue calipers. M-style mirrors, of course you've seen this on recent M Performance automobiles, so no surprise there. You have flush door handles, which helps quite a bit with the aerodynamic properties of the car. 0.27, that's the coefficient drag. You can see now the sloping roof line, more of a coupe-ish line than ever before. BMW wants to emphasize that this is an SAV, and they're going towards this transformation from an upright design to more of a coupe-ish roof line. We've seen that on the BMW X2 as well. There is a Hofmeister kink right here, so connects this chrome, black chrome right there into this Hofmeister kink. So I'm happy they decided to keep that. You will see from the back also the tapered rear end, which emphasizes the broad shoulders in the back. And we'll take a look at that in 1 second. Of course, brand new taillights. They're similar to the X5, I would say. So if you're looking at the X5, they're not that much different. These two light bars, they connect there to form a T shape. Of course, you got this interesting graphic right there, and they wrap around the car in the typical L shape of a BMW. They look quite cool. Of course, you have the reflectors right there to emphasize the width of the car. It's a functional piece too. M50, no more M50i. We've talked about this recently. They're trying to move away from using the I in gasoline cars, so that way they reserve that I badge for electrified cars in general. Of course, a more upright design in the back, and you can see it from that angle as well, and also from the back. Cleaner shapes. License plate has moved down here, and because of that, we have a lot cleaner design on the top. Tailpipes, of course, probably the most controversial piece on the car because you have quad pipes, and that's something that was usually reserved for full M cars, but now you start to see them on M Performance automobiles. A fairly aggressive diffuser, of course, in piano black as well, and that goes really well with the overall stance in the back to emphasize the sportiness of the car. So let me open this door so you can see the interior space. It has the same space really as the outgoing G01, maybe 4 millimeters more, but you won't really notice this. And I'm gonna hop inside actually to show you the space that I have. So let's assume that the front seat is adjusted to a good driving position. I'm 6'2", 1.9 meters tall, and as you can see, I have decent room in here. Of course, there's some scoops in the front seat, so if you need additional knee room, you will have it there. can see plenty of headroom. I would say at least 6 centimeters, which is quite good. That's about probably 3-4 inches. Plenty of side room as well. You can see 3 people in here. Of course, you can get a little tight over long distances, but it feels quite comfortable and spacious. You can also see the sunroof, the panoramic roof. It's not retractable, it's a fixed one, and this is the only option you have on all the BMW X3 models. You're getting also this very interesting fabric. We're going to see it in the front as well. It's the first time they're using the knitted fabric in a BMW car, so that's quite unique, and you will see that in the front even better. But overall, yeah, this is the space in the BMW X3. There is a lot of plastic all around. You're going to see it in the center right here too. But I guess that's something that we've seen on recent BMWs. Not extremely happy about it, but that's what we're getting today. Harman Kardon speakers, that's the upgraded sound system in the car. You also get a bass system too. So you will notice the brand new steering wheel. There are 2 different types of steering wheels in the car. You have the flat bottom one you've seen in the recent BMW products with a 12 o'clock red marker. Quite beefy, M stitching, of course, because it's an M performance car. But in the BMW X3 base car, you're also getting a flat top, flat bottom, which is similar to the BMW iX. You have a boost mode to give you additional power. We'll talk about power in 1 second. And of course, you can upshift and downshift. Curve display, of course, you've seen it in all the new BMWs, so no surprise there. And because of that, you are losing some of the physical buttons in the car. And it's operated by iDrive 9, operating system 9, which is also new because so far we've seen the operating system 9 mostly in compact cars like the X1, X2, and Mini products, but now for the first time, this Android-based system, it's coming to the BMW X3. There is a head-up display in front of me. Always love seeing that. Okay, so let's talk about the center console because this is quite interesting. So you have this light bar that runs across from the door to the center, and then you have this jewelry box. BMW likes to call it a jewelry box, and essentially they decided to offer this really large opening in there just in case you just want to come in and throw things in there without having to properly place them. This is why the separation of the cup holder is quite different. They're not circular anymore, so that's something that's very unique in the car. You have this, I guess, like a jewel kind of thing, as they like to call it, with the M logo. The base models, they get a different type of logo right there with the X3. Wireless charging, a little bit angled, so that's nice because it's easy now to see the phone if you have to. USB-C ports right there. There are additional ones in the back. Best thing in the car so far, the fact that you're still getting the iDrive controller, at least for now. So I'm happy to still be able to do this on the screen versus this. So that's cool. And then of course, because I mentioned the iDrive 9, I got to show you the also the new climate control, which mimics the analog system. So that's a nice improvement. You can see here the M colors, of course, embedded within this light bar. These colors you're only getting in the X3 M50. Of course, you can get other colors in the other variants. Toggle shifter, so no more gear shifter. Again, I expected this. I'm really not surprised at all. You have this toggle shifter right there. The seats, brand new seats, sports seats in all the X3 models. They wrap around quite nicely, actually, and you have different upholstery options from a Vaganza through a new Econeer, they call it, a type of material recyclable. And then of course you have the full leather, especially for the US market. Leather is still quite important. Once again, the knitted fabric, you can see it on the dashboard right there. It feels nice. Hopefully it's durable long term. Hopefully it's easy to clean. That's a question I always have for the designers and for the trim designers as well, but we will see over time. Lastly, what I want to point out, it's really this new, they call it an island. And essentially, some of the controls are on the door. You can see the way to memorize the seats, 1 and 2 position. You have the lock and unlock button. And then, of course, you can use this to actually control the vent speed right there. So very cool. And then, once again, you have that light bar. All right, so let me hop outside and let's talk about specs. So the X3 M50 is powered by the B50A 3.0 6-cylinder engine. It's an upgraded version of that engine, so it makes 398 PS. That comes out to about 392 HP. I believe the largest spec, or the biggest spec, the most powerful spec today, does about 384. 580 Newton meters of torque, and it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.6 seconds. Top speed 250 kilometers per hour. Of course, the exhaust system in Europe has the OPF, so it will sound a little bit different than the US version. This car also gets the 48-volt mild hybrid, which gives you an additional 18 PS, about 13 or 14 HP, I believe. So that's the boost function that you've seen in the car, especially comes from that 48-volt mild hybrid. I don't have the US pricing. This car is coming to the US. Of course, it's going to be a global car operating in all the markets. It's manufactured in Spartanburg steel. In Europe, it actually costs 82,600 euros. So that's quite a hike from the previous X3 M50i. Brand new color, positioning color. It's called Dune Gray. It reminds me of the chalk color that we've seen on some BMW products. It's an individual color, I believe. This is the brand new BMW X3 M50. I have a lot more details on the design on this car and also on the X3 plug-in hybrid. So make sure to watch the other videos because I paired up with Christopher Weil, the head of exterior design at BMW, and he talked in detail about the exterior design, and then we also talk about interior design with another designer from the team. So with that being said, next step is to drive this car. I drove it already in a prototype form, but next time we'll bring it out on the street to see how it handles as a daily driver. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.